Good evening, Wizards Nation. My apologies for the late stream. I actually just came back from a work holiday party. But nevertheless, that didn't stop me because, yes, I did watch the entire game while at a work holiday party. I am addicted to the game. Dude, nothing's going to stop me from watching this team lose. My team, this is, I'm addicted, dude. I'm addicted to the madness. But yeah, again, my apologies. I should have put something out, a community post or something like that, saying that this stream will be late, so I don't expect nobody to be joining. Anyways, we lost to the Hornets by 17 points today. Granted, this was a fourth quarter collapse. We were actually up by 3 points at halftime. In the third quarter, we got outscored by only 5 points. But come the fourth quarter, y'all, they outscored us by 15 points. We only scored 19 points in the fourth quarter. A couple of questionable decisions by Coach Keefe throughout the entire night, to be honest with you, not just the fourth quarter. But yeah, man, let me go over to the stats real quick. I was the loner at the bar. I had my little phone out, you know what I mean? I was looking down at my phone a lot. On buff streams. I didn't care, dude. I didn't care. Bruh, the Wizards, man. They're my team. I gotta freaking root them. Anyways, first things first. Let me go in chronological order, y'all. Shit, let me see if somebody's in the chat. Nah, everybody's probably sleeping. I don't blame y'all. Anyways, the starters for tonight, McCollum, Coulibaly, who came back from an injury, Keyshawn George, Chris Middleton, and Alex Sarr. Coulibaly's back. After, again, another short stint of injuries missed by Coulibaly. He replaced Bob Carrington, who has been on a really solid tear as of late from the past 6-7 games. Honestly, for the month of December. That's the first questionable decision by Coach Keefe tonight. Why would you take out the hot hand, in my opinion, and put the guy in who's been struggling? I thought minutes were going to be earned this year. Am I wrong? So, when I saw that, I was like, it was Coulibaly, whenever he's healthy, he starts. Whenever he's healthy, he starts. And you know what? I like Coulibaly, but to me, I want minutes to be earned. I want minutes to be earned. And Bub, he earned these minutes this past couple of 6-7 games. But anyways, that's just how it is. And granted, Bilal had he ended up having 14 points, 3 of 9 from the 3, though. I did see that while I was at the freaking bar, and I was like, what the fuck? This man over here trying to beat a Corey Kispert. Bro, 5 attempts max, please, Bilal. But he did make 3 of 9, so, what's up, Uptown Dre? He says, my brother-in, what's up with the starters tonight? Also, McCollum needs to go, and Trey is his replacement. Yep, completely agree. Anyways, Bilal had 14 points, a solid night, actually, from Bilal. I like to see it, though. Even though, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block. But anyways, Bob Carrington goes down with an injury. Looks like it was an ankle injury. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. Corey Kispert goes down with an injury as well. But the fourth quarter, Trey Johnson barely sees the floor. Trey Johnson tonight was 12 points, 5 of 12 on the field, 2 of 7 for the 3, in 21 minutes. Y'all know me. I love Keyshawn George, but Keyshawn George was not on one tonight. Man had 2 points only on 1 of 9 from the field, 31 minutes played. McCollum himself as well, 5 of 17 from the field, 14 points. So, Uptown Dre's right. The starters weren't it. The starters weren't it tonight. Alex Sarr wasn't aggressive. Granted, Alex Sarr was having a block party because this man had 4 blocks, 4 offensive rebounds, 11 rebounds, But 6 attempts? I can't. He's too good for that. McCollum goes 5 for 17 from the field. The thing about Coach Keefe, man, he has like that Dan Quinn syndrome. Like, this man is too loyal. Too loyal to his players. Bruh, switch it up. I want these minutes to be earned. You know? That's what Dawkins said. Dawkins, like, these minutes will not be given. They will be earned. Well, I mean, it clearly seems like there's some favorites on this squad. You know, I did think that, you know, not having Trey Johnson play in the fourth quarter was a very questionable decision by Coach Keefe. I think also just starting Balak Coulibaly over Bub was a bit questionable as well. Not Pat Dong Song Crit. My bad, y'all. Do you know anything about the Bub injury? I'm a fan from Thailand, by the way. Hey, shout out to Thailand. Shout out to Thailand. I have not seen anything yet. Hold on, let me check right now. Regarding Bub Carrington's thing. I was at a distillery in Frederick, Maryland, y'all. I was like, what the hell? Oh, man. I was looking for a Latino out there. No Latino in sight. I was in Frederick, Boonesboro, Maryland. Where the hell did I go? I went to 3 places. But anyways, let's see here. I didn't see any update on Bub. But I'll be sure. Tomorrow I'm going to do a stream again because we need to talk about Kent Whitmore as well. Kent Whitmore's injury looks like a blood clot injury. Indefinite. Don't like that word at all. We need to talk about that extensively tomorrow, so I'm going to go in the stream regarding that. But yeah, let me see. Let's just go to my notes, man. First thing, we all saw the Keyshawn George LaMelo Ball foul. Ended up being a flagrant one. I just can't take LaMelo seriously, dude. I can't take him seriously. Let's see here. Bub actually started off solid for the game. He had 2 straight threes. He had a step back 3. You know, 6 quick points for him. Man's been on a tear. Man's been on a tear as of late. I believe last he was 41% from the field, but after tonight, probably not 42. He ended up finishing just with those 6 points, actually. He didn't do anything else after that. In only 15 minutes to play. He did have 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, though. After the first quarter, we were up by 7. It was a really solid first quarter. You know, even though we only shot and made 29% of our threes the entire game. See here, yeah, hold on. Yeah, 29% from our 3, 41% from the field, but 29. This is right here. You know, everything else is just like to be expected. They did have 13 more assists than us, though. Anyways, I don't know what I was saying. Trey Johnson also started off hot. 5 points, 2 or 3 from the field beginning. Marvin Bagley had this freaking ferocious poster. Marvin Bagley did. Gotta love that. And I also loved how I don't think he yelled at the dude. I think he did. I think he did yell at the dude. No, I like that. Show some energy, dude. I like Marvin Bagley. He finished with 15 points in 21 minutes. Same old Marvin Bagley, man. Consistent. I think he's been the most consistent Wizards player the entire year. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Keyshawn George having an awesome year, but, he's having some cold stints here and there. Marvin Bagley, man. 15 points in 21 minutes, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, 2 offensive rebounds. Let me see his plus minus, probably -5. Awesome game by Marvin Bagley, y'all. And that's it. We're at that point with Marvin Bagley, like, that's to be expected now from him. Also, with the return of Corey Kispert, granted he went out with an injury, and Balak Coulibaly, the main thing we wanted to see was, all right, so who's going to be kicked out of the rotation? Well, the 2 dudes who actually shined in their absence, being Will Riley and Jameer Watkins, they gave us another dimension to the game. Well, defense was Jameer Watkins, obviously. Energy, help on the rebounding department. Those 2 dudes were not in the rotation. As a matter of fact, I even saw Malachi Brown get some minutes over those two dudes, which is a little bit iffy in my opinion. I don't. No offense to Malachi, who has been solid in short stints here, but you mean to tell me Will Riley and Jameer Watkins didn't earn these minutes during when Bilal Coulibaly and Corey Chris have been out? What? What? That's 3 head scratchers right now on just the rotations on Coach Keefe. You're starting you're starting Bilal, taking out Bub, who's been the hot hand. And then you take out Will Riley and Jameer Watkins from the rotation. Instead, you actually plug in Malachi Brown, for a short stint, but still. You don't play Trey Johnson in the fourth quarter at all over dudes who were not, who were not, like, nobody in the starting line. Like, McCollum wasn't it tonight. No offense to him. Just he was just off, It just happens. Crocs Wild No Sock says Jameer was kind of expected because he's still in a two-way, right? If so, that makes sense. Yeah, I agree. I'm more, honestly, it's more with Will Riley, in my opinion, and I feel like we're all in that department. Will Riley not getting any minutes? Come on, dude. And I'm talking about not garbage time minutes. I'm talking about actual, minutes in rotation. Yeah, because they all Will Riley, AJ Johnson, DeVuch, Anthony Gill. Yeah, I got 2 minutes in the garbage time. So yeah, I mean, it's just like something with Coach Keefe. I'm just like, yeah, Young Mill says it right now. I don't want to see Malachi. And no offense to Malachi, he actually has been solid whenever he's played, in short stints here and there. But let's just be honest, Malachi's not going to be here in the long term. He's not. He's not. Why prioritize dudes who are not going to be here long term, or dudes who won't even attain any trade value? Play the young bucks. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand if we're trying to rehabilitate Malachi's trade value and then we can trade him for something, like we're doing with Corey Kispert, but we're not doing it. He's not going to be traded for a second round pick. No. I don't know. Head scratcher to me, man. It's just something with Coach Keefe is just like rotations. Like I've been yammering about that shit all year long, and then also this man, does no in-game adjustments, ever. He just sticks to the game. But I'm just like, come on, dude. In the fourth quarter, this man had no answer. He had no answer. No adjustments made from Coach Keefe. None. Honestly. And I'm being honest with you guys, because after I was watching the first quarter, right? And I was just like, you know what? We've been playing better as of late. I believe we were 4-6 in the past 10 games. I was like, we've been playing better as of late. And after the first quarter, and I was just like, shit, well, we might actually beat the Hornets tonight. And then as the game progressed and we got to the third quarter, because we were up by 3 at halftime, I was just like, this is why Coach Keefe is still our coach. He's the tank commander right now. I honestly will blame this on Coach Keefe, this loss. Young Mill, you're right. Will Riley's been hooping and he didn't play. It makes no sense to me, y'all. It makes no sense to me. Pneumatic Brian says, at some point, fundamental basketball, right. No excuses. Yeah, man. I'm putting this one on coaching tonight. Granted, there's other stuff in the department that we were just not up to par. Just our shots weren't going in. McCollum is not going to go. How do you go? He's not going to go 1 of 5 from the 3. Granted, but Bilal's not going to go 3 of 9 from the 3 either. And Trey Johnson, man, Trey Johnson's floater, this man has his touch is impeccable. Trey Johnson was the lone dude that had the highest plus minus in the entire team, a plus 10. Trey Johnson was a plus 10, the highest plus minus out of anybody in a starting lineup or on the bench. And he got no fourth quarter minutes. I believe he barely even played in the fourth quarter. When they were going on their run. Make it make sense. Now, if Trey Johnson is limited with his injury, remember early on in the season, he was they were saying he could only play limited minutes. I mean, they haven't said anything about that since he came back from injury, but still, I don't know, dude, man. This is just something that I'm chalking up with Coach Keefe. This loss. Let me get to my notes real quick. Blau did show a lot of hustle. There was this one play where him and Sarr, a nice dunk underneath the basket. Well, nice. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Hold on. Yeah. At halftime, we were down by 3 points. Coulibaly was leading the way, 11 points. Bagley, 10. Trey Johnson, 9. Like I said here, we already know about Bags. We got right here, Sarr, block party. Keyshawn George was just off. And he was off the last game as well. But, nothing to be worried about. This is just cold stretches in an NBA. Everybody goes through that, so nothing to be worried about that. Corey Kispert went out with a hamstring tightness, which sucks. It sucks. I don't like hammy. Nobody likes hammies. Those are nagging injuries that, we don't know. Hopefully it's not something where it's going to affect him in his availability before the trade deadline. You do want to see him put more of a stretch of gameplay so that we can entice teams. Even though he did start the season really solid. The last time I checked, which was last week before he even started, before tonight, Corey Kispert was shooting 50% from the field and 40% from the three. He's been he's been playing really solid this year. So hopefully he can come back, man. Because I like Corey, but you definitely want to showcase him right before the trade deadline, so that dudes can Will Riley and Jameer Watkins can get those minutes in the second half of the season. Anyways, we know this shit. I don't know why I'm repeating that. Let's see here. Yeah, Corey Kispert, that sucks with him hamstring. He was out for 10 games, comes back with a hamstring tightness now. Wishing him nothing but the best of luck, though. Like I said, we got outscored by 15 points in the fourth quarter. Bub Carrington went down. It looks like it was an apparent ankle injury. No update on that, though. Cam Whitmore, blood clot. We'll talk about that tomorrow. I saw your Trey barely played in the fourth quarter. Yeah, dude. I'm chalking this up on coaching. I can't. I truly can't. Granted, some of our dudes, our main players were off tonight, but still, it shouldn't have been that much of a blowout towards the end. Shouldn't have been. We lost by 17 points. That's not a clear indicator of how the game went. We were in the thick of it. We were leading after the first quarter. We were in the thick of it. Anyways, here is the actual Tankathon odds. Well, on the bright side, we did lose to the Hornets. They are now 10-20. We are 5-23. And, still looking the same. The Pelicans are actually running away. They were on a 5-game winning streak, I believe. They recently lost. So we are still not firmly entrenched at number 1, y'all. For those Tank Commanders out there, I have some friends they're just dude, we are way too close to number 2, 3, and 4 in these tanking odds. We need to, differentiate ourselves. And I'm just wait, hold on, dude. Yes, let's differentiate ourselves. Let's entrench this, but at the same time, let's play competitive basketball, which actually we have been as of late, to a certain degree. But we are now 3-7 in the last 10 games. Crocspot and All Sock says, I was going to ask if after the last 5 or 6 game, is Coach back in good grace with you? But today's game reminded me that he ain't changed, LOL. Hey, man, I agree with you, man. I agree. I kind of feel like he I don't know. Because Coach Keefe gives mixed messages. I wonder sometimes, like if I was the player, I would be so disenfranchised with him. I wouldn't be able to respect him because I'm just like, he's probably preaching one thing in the locker room, but his actions and his rotations say something completely different. Nomadic Brian says, I feel a certain kind of camaraderie now to the Colorado Rocky fans here in Colorado. I can sit in the group therapy for wounded fans. Colorado's a beautiful state, man. I was there last year. I was in Denver. Then I went to, where's that? Breckenridge. I love Colorado. As a matter of fact, last year was, I'm 32 and I have asthma. And I had asthma for the first time last year and I was freaking dying, dude. I was dying. And I was like, you know what? Let me go to Colorado where the air is much more natural, you know. And I remember I went to Colorado and like within a week, like my asthma was like gone. It was healed. I told all my asthmatic friends, like, dude, you got to go to Colorado. It will save you from asthma. Trust me, you got to do it. I love Colorado, man. Colorado's a beautiful state. I would live there. I would. But it's expensive. But so is Maryland in certain places. So, I don't know. Anyways, enough about Colorado. To the Wizards. Yeah, man. If I'm a Wizards player, man, I just can't, like... I wouldn't be able to take Coach Keith seriously, man. I really wouldn't. Even though they kind of seem like they bought in a little bit. Their energy and hustle's been much better as of late. But, you know, like the Kent Whitmore situation. What the fuck? I understand his benching. But at the same time, I'm just like, you're playing who in front of me? Let me rephrase that. Sorry. I'm right now, my head's a little bit. I had some drinks. I'm sober. I meant, like, here's the thing with Coach Keith. Coach Keith, man, I always go back to that quote, minutes will be earned. I have not seen that this year, man. I truly haven't. And I'm not calling out Will Dawkins because at the end of the day, it's Coach Keith and his rotations. But come on, where's the consistency in that department? There's no consistency there. The three things tonight goes to Bilal Coulibaly, takes out Bub from the starting lineup. I honestly would have eased Bilal. I definitely would have given Bilal his minutes because I want him to continue to develop. I'm still a Bilal supporter. But like, you're 5-23. Why don't you mix things up a bit? You know, why try to, fix something that's not broken? If Bub Carrington's playing solid, do something with the line. You know what I mean? Like, it's that's number one. Number two, you take out Will Riley from the rotation. You actually play Malachi Bram. Okay. I wouldn't have done that. And not even just because of Will Riley's draft status and because he was a first-round pick and, obviously we want to see him develop. Not even that. The fact that Will Riley and Jameer Watkins have had a clear impact on this team during this. It's not a coincidence that our defense has been, slightly, somewhat better. Even though our defense has always been ass this entire year. But, those two dudes are playing. Kent Whitmore got benched. You see a difference, man. And then the fourth quarter, Trey Johnson not getting any minutes. If there is nothing regarding his injury and he's not supposed to be in limited minutes, then there is no excuse for that. There is no excuse for that. You're playing dudes who have been cold all night. Keyshawn George, God bless him. I love Keyshawn George, but he was cold. CJ McCollum, he was cold. What are we doing? What are we doing? Now, same goes for the opposite. If Trey Johnson is cold, take him out. Bub Carrington, when he's cold, take him out. The game against the Bulls earlier this season, Bub Carrington was cold as a this man was in an ice age. Kent Whitmore was wrecking, had 18 points in 20 minutes. Kent Whitmore does not see the entire fourth quarter. As a matter of fact, Kent Whitmore does play a minute and a half in the fourth quarter, and then does not touch and does not play for the rest of the game. He does not even play in the last possession of the game against the Bulls, when we needed, I believe, it was a bucket to score to tie the game. And instead, he puts out Bub, who was cold all game. I'm sorry, dude. Like, it's stuff like that. It sends a wrong message to the team and the players. It makes them feel like, oh, fuck, what do I have to do? What do I have to do to get in good graces with this guy? I get that whole Dan Quinn, like, too loyal to the soil type vibes. If someone is not producing, no matter who it is, Alex Sarr, Keyshawn George, McCollum, Middleton, anyone, take him out. He sticks too much with his players. And it's not a knock on these players either. Everybody's going to go through a cold stint. Everyone. Everyone does in the NBA. But far too often does he always do that. We got to start putting out a better product on the court. We'll have a ton of cap space and won't be able to sign a decent to above average free agent. Well, just wait till we let's see about the draft lottery, though. Imagine if we get AJ DeBonsa. Oh, dudes are gonna want to come here. Remember, Ace Bailey wanted to come here. Like, I mean, I agree with you, though. Yeah, I mean, those are for draft prospects, but last comment. Pneumatic Brian says, I did enjoy my last time in Chevy Chase, Maryland, a few blocks away from the metro. Lots of fun things to do. Chevy Chase is nice. It's too close to Bethesda, though, for my liking. I can't with Bethesda. I can't. Bethesda is nice. They have really good restaurants, but it's just like the people are too uptight, man. Not even uptight. There's just too many rich. I'm not good around rich people. I'm not. They make me feel queasy. Anyways, Coach Keith's coaching tonight made me feel queasy. I'm not trying to like. Sometimes I feel like I'm like too negative or dogging on him. It's nothing personal. I'm not. It's just like, God dang it. But then and then I get down on myself. I'm just like, why am I getting mad over a season that was supposed to be a tanking season? Well, my retort to that is, I don't want to lose. I don't want to get blown out. Like, I want to lose competitively. I want to show growth. I want to win more than 18 games like we did last year. Dude, if we win less than 18 games this year, is that an indicator that we are actually regressing? I like to say no, but at the same time, I don't know. Keyshawn George and Alex Sarr showed us this year, and I mean, hopefully they continue to close out the year by saying, yeah, they are key pieces moving forward, but I don't know. I don't know, man. People join the stream this late. My apologies. I was at a work holiday party. Y'all know me. I usually go live immediately after the game ended. So my apologies for that. Pneumatic Brian said it best. You can lose by 5 and still tank. That's how I want to lose, if we lose. Nothing wrong with a good morale win here and there. No, nothing wrong with that. But anyways, it is what it is. Thank you very much, everybody. If you enjoyed the stream, please like and subscribe. I truly appreciate it. Go DMV. Fuck it, dude. Go Wizards. Just fuck. One more sim lottery. Let's just try one sim lottery while we're here. God damn. Or fuck. It's always this. We always go to 5. One more. All right, we'll leave it at that. I'll take 2. That's Peterson or DeBonsa. I'll take 2. Anyways, take care, everybody. Tomorrow I'm going to go live, maybe like around 11 or 10:30. We're going to go in depth regarding Cam Whitmore. I did not talk about him that much in this stream and his injury news because, well, how you say, I feel like he deserves, I mean, it's very unfortunate, but I feel like it deserves his own stream. All right, last comment. Crocs Wild No Sock says, bruh, comma, calling out the product isn't negative if the product results were negative. They gave you something to talk about, good and bad. Yeah, that's true. I agree. The one thing I want to do in this channel is just make sure that I am impartial. I don't want to be biased. I don't want to be a guy who is just like oblivious to the truth. No. When a team's doing good, give them praise. When a team's doing bad, constructive criticism. That's the way I see it, honestly. Honesty. It's all about honesty. Honesty is everything, you know? Don't need to fabricate anything. I don't like that. We already see that on TV too much. All this propaganda. So, yeah, I guess you're right, man. I might be overthinking it, to be honest with you. All right, y'all. Take care, everybody. Good night.